We thought our light would never dim. So when the great foe Morgoth destroyed the very light of our home, we resisted. And a legion of elves went to war. We left Valinor, our home, and journeyed to a distant realm. One filled with untold perils and strange creatures beyond count. A place known as Middle-earth. It would be over quickly. But the war left Middle-earth in ruin. And would last centuries. In the end, Morgoth would be defeated. But not before much sorrow. For his orcs had spread to every corner of Middle-earth, multiplying ever greater under the command of his most devoted servant, a cruel and cunning sorcerer. They called him Sauron.
The light bulb versus the world. As you can see from the example, the light bulb would be our dome and we would be at the bottom, with the centre of the realm having two pillars leading up, as seen in the Tree of Life, and Freemasonry with the two pillars. This clip I didn't see firstly, but you can see a second tree next to the bright tree. This reminds me of the sun and the moon. Also reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, and the flower in the jar, if you remember the middle of a flower. What if the dome was lifted? The dome obviously wouldn't be glass, it would present itself as solid but electromagnetic in nature, hinting at its properties of either being transparent or reflective.
This is a common household light bulb. It's simple yet brilliant. It was invented in the late 1800s and amazingly it has hardly changed at all. It works using a simple circuit, and the most important bit is the filament. It sits at the center of the bulb on a glass mount and is made up of a long, thin piece of tungsten metal which has an abnormally high melting temperature. Watch this slow-motion footage, which is 40 times slower than normal, and you can see the circuit in all its glory. When the bulb is connected to a power supply, the electrons travel along the circuit and continuously bump into the filament's atoms, causing them to vibrate. The atoms heat up to around 2,200 degrees Celsius and boom, light. Who would have thought the humble bulb could be so ingenious?
How does a light bulb work? The law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It simply changes from one form to another. A light bulb is a simple apparatus that converts electrical energy into light energy.
What if our energy and our sunlight was coming from below but being reflected above somehow? The outside source, as you can see, is outside of ourselves and will be coming through down into the realm. Introverted, flipped, we can see it coming up through the realm and the light presenting itself above us.
A bulb is made up of a positive and a negative terminal embedded inside the glass casing with a tungsten filament that joins the two terminals. When electricity is supplied to the terminals, the flow of electrons heats up the thin filament in between to the point that it begins to glow. This process happens very quickly. The air inside the glass is actually a small amount of inert gas that helps prevent the filament from becoming too hot and breaking. When the light bulb has fused, it means that the thin coil inside has snapped and therefore electricity cannot flow completely through the circuit.
We can let them run all day and no problems. The plastic is a real bonus because unlike the thin glass of the old incandescents or even the tubes of fluorescent bulbs, they don't break, and this is pretty tough. That's nice. Also, there are no filaments inside that can be broken in rough handling. So all that's fine, and I use them and I like them, but I was wondering, what's inside? What do they look like inside? So I cut the top off of one, and that turned out to be a surprisingly difficult task because the plastic is quite tough and it's much thicker than I thought it would be. But anyways, here's what I found. The LEDs are these yellow rings, yellow squares, and that's what gives off the light. Now, I had expected that when this was fired up, I'd see some reds and some blues and, you know, all the primary colors which would mix together to make white. But actually, each one of these is a white light emitter. So that's pretty interesting.
The world in relation to the light bulb. You can see the electric and the smoke, and how the electric creates almost arms, almost like an octopus's arms. Some might see it as a dragon, legs, eyes, and the smoke, the form it would take. It's often seen in movies, TV shows. The same figure, Phoenix, could be the same. It's interesting what happens to a light bulb at high voltage.
Okay, just for you guys' viewing pleasure, let's overload a light bulb. Well, a couple thousand volts.